A single narrow path winds down into the earth. It is a path worn smooth by the feet of countless pilgrims over many centuries. This path does not lead to a building on the ground. It leads into a holy place carved from the heart of the mountain. Here, in the small town of Lalibela, high in the northern highlands of Ethiopia, lies a complex of 11 churches, each hewn from a single immense block of volcanic rock. They are sculptures on a grand scale, an architectural wonder. The place feels ancient and eternally alive. To visit is to step outside modern time into a landscape shaped by faith. Coming to Lalibela is more than a physical journey. It feels like traveling backward through history. The air is thin and cool, and a profound stillness seems to emanate from the stones. The history of these extraordinary churches is woven into the very fabric of Ethiopia's national and spiritual identity. The story begins nearly a millennium ago in the 12th century with a ruler from the Zagwe dynasty named King Lalibela. He was a devout Christian, and legend holds that he had a powerful vision. He dreamed of creating a new Jerusalem in his own kingdom, a holy city for Ethiopian Christians who were often unable to make the long and perilous pilgrimage to the actual Jerusalem. This was not to be a city of wood and mortar. So began one of the most ambitious construction projects in human history. Instead of quarrying stone and lifting it to build walls, King Lalibela's workers did the opposite. They chose a site of soft, reddish volcanic tuff and carved downwards, chipping away to reveal hidden structures. They started by digging deep, wide trenches around a massive section of rock. Then they shaped the exterior with incredible precision and artistry, carving out windows, doors, decorative friezes. Finally, they hollowed the interior, creating naves, aisles, sacred chambers from one solid piece of stone. Some are monolithic, standing completely free from the parent rock, like the magnificent Biete Georgis carved in the shape of a cross. Others are semi-monolithic cave churches, remain attached to the rock on one or more sides. The sheer scale is difficult to comprehend. Every column, every archway, and every delicate detail was painstakingly chiseled by hand, requiring immense skill, patience, and a sense of divine purpose. These churches were more than architectural marvels. They were designed to be functional and deeply symbolic places of worship. In the days leading up to Genna, which is celebrated on January 7th, the town of Lalibela undergoes a gentle yet profound transformation. The usual quiet rhythm of mountain life gives way to a growing sense of anticipation. This period begins with Soma Nebiyat, the fast of the prophets, 43 days. During this time, devout Christians abstain from all animal products, meat, dairy, eggs. The fast is not seen as a hardship, but as spiritual cleansing, purifying the body and focusing the mind on prayer, preparing the heart for the holy day. As the eve of Christmas draws near, the town itself seems to awaken. Dusty streets and pathways begin to fill with new faces. Pilgrims who have traveled for days or weeks start to arrive. The night vigil at Lalibela is a profound and immersive experience, a continuous flow of prayer that bridges the darkness of Christmas Eve with the first light of Christmas morning. The churches, carved deep into the earth, become resonant chambers filled with sound and spirit. Inside, the space is packed with people standing shoulder to shoulder, a dense congregation wrapped in the shared warmth of their devotion. The only light comes from the flickering flames of beeswax candles, which cast long, dancing shadows upon the ancient, chiseled walls. This soft, wavering light reveals the textures of the rock, the faces of the priests, the icons that have been venerated for centuries. The air inside the churches is thick with the holy scent of incense. Priests, dressed in ornate, brightly colored vestments, swing brass censers on long chains, releasing clouds of fragrant smoke that rise to the high stone ceilings. This act, repeated throughout the night, is a form of prayer in itself, symbolizing the ascent of the people's hopes and supplications to heaven. As the hours pass, the service builds in intensity. Priests and deacons, carrying their drums and sistra, emerge and process onto the high cliffs and ledges. They form lines facing each other and begin a slow, swaying dance, a reenactment of the shepherds rejoicing at the birth of Christ. Below, the pilgrims watch in reverent silence, a sea of white in the dim light. As the first rays of the sun break over the mountains, the chanting swells, and the entire valley seems to fill with a sound of pure, unadulterated joy. The dawn service is breathtaking, but the spiritual heart of Genna unfolds in the hours that follow. After sunrise, the main liturgical service continues with a solemn procession. The priests, led by the highest-ranking clergy, carry the tablet from the Holy of Holies. The tablet, a veiled replica of the Ark of the Covenant, is so holy it remains covered, wrapped in embroidered silks and brocades, borne beneath a ceremonial umbrella. He is flanked by priests carrying intricately designed crosses, and as the procession passes, people bow deeply, some reaching to touch the robes or the umbrella, seeking blessing. Beyond the grand ceremonies and formal liturgy, the true spirit of Genna is found in small, personal acts of faith. An elderly woman pauses at a church entrance, presses her lips to the cold, worn stone, a kiss to a place that held her ancestors' prayers. This touch links her to journeys past and generations before her. A young father lifts his boy to glimpse the procession. He points to the crosses and whispers the moment's meaning. A seed of faith is planted in wonder-filled eyes. Another finds a quiet corner, kneels and prostrates, a direct personal conversation with God. Amid the multitude, each solitary soul journeys inward. Amidst the solemnity, children bring vital energy. They are an integral part of the festival. Their natural joy counterpoints the structured rites, a living promise that tradition endures. Small crosses in small hands, imitation becomes learning. Their small responsibilities introduce duty, service, and belonging. They gather to play Genna, a traditional game so closely tied to the feast that its name is synonymous with Christmas. Play becomes its own celebration, joy braided with prayer. By being present, children absorb Genna's chants, incense aromas, solemn processions, memories that form spiritual identity. In lived experience, not lessons, faith is transmitted to the next generation. Aromas now drift richly from every home, promising nourishment and communion. The centerpiece is Doro Wat, a thick, spicy chicken stew, rich with onions, garlic, ginger, and berbere, the spice that gives heat and color. Hard-boiled eggs finish the dish. Alongside lamb and beef stews, it is served on a large communal platter lined with injera. People gather in circles, eating with the right hand, no individual plates. Injera is torn and used to scoop up the feast. Gursha, offering a bite to another, expresses friendship, respect, affection. Hospitality extends beyond family. Neighbors, visitors, even strangers are invited to join. Pilgrims from afar find a place at the table. Sharing food is a blessing. Thus, the feast celebrates not only a holy birth, but the human connections that sustain life. As Genna draws to a close, a gentle quiet descends again. Colors are put away. Drums grow still. Crowds disperse. Some begin long journeys beneath a star-filled sky, spirits renewed. Others rest on stone floors, sleeping under the watchful eyes of saints. The stones have witnessed these rites for centuries and hold the echoes of this year's prayers.